A 47-line file, 2 tiny functions. I changed it, and this tool flagged 105 other files as affected. A fifth of my whole repo. For one small file, before I explain anything, look at that number. If you review code with an AI, this is the number that decides your token bill. Here is the setup. AI coding tools reread big chunks of your codebase on every review, and you pay for every token they read. A tool called Code Review Graph promises to fix that. It builds a map of your code so the AI reads only what matters. It is not a nobody. Over 20,000 stars in under 5 months, fully open source, and it shipped a fresh release the same day I tested it. It also claims to re-index in under 2 seconds every time you save a file. So it is real and actively maintained. The only caveat, the whole project is barely 5 months old. Their diagram screams 38 times to 528 times fewer tokens. That is the number everyone quotes. So I read their own reproducing doc instead of the marketing picture. Their real table says the median is 82 times. 528 is a single lucky best case. 38 is the floor. They say so themselves in their own repo. And the benchmark behind that number. It ships with 5 hard-coded questions. 5. Their own reproducing doc says so in plain text. Each question compares every source token in the repo against 5 search hits and a few neighbor edges. That is the entire experiment behind the poster number. Nobody's real code review asks 5 fixed questions. Yours will not either. And the savings number on the screen is characters divided by 4, labeled estimated. Not a real tokenizer unless you turn one on. Being that honest about your own cherry pick is rarer than the tool itself. But every one of their 6 test repos is clean, famous, open source. Nothing like a real production monorepo. So I stopped reading and pointed it at the actual codebase. This channel runs on. Fresh virtual environment, pip install. 1 build command, it parsed 494 files, built the whole graph, and finished in about 10.5 seconds. That is exactly the 10 seconds they advertise for a 500 file project. Clean install, no drama, works as documented. And the graph it built spans 6 languages at once. Python, Bash, TypeScript, JavaScript, and more. Already messier than any repo they tested. This part earns the stars, full credit. And then I ran the one command that actually matters. The whole pitches reads only what matters. Their headline monorepo stat says only about 15 files actually read. So I ran their impact command on 2 real files. One tiny 47 lines, one big 700. The tiny one flagged 105 files out of 494. The big one flagged 114. 2 to 3,000 graph nodes. Every single time, handed to the model as the context to read. For scale, the 700-line file changed just 20 nodes under the hood. The tiny one too, both times, over 100 files came back flagged. So much for 15 files. On my repo, a fifth of the whole tree lit up for one small change. If you have ever pulled one monster in a dungeon and somehow aggro the entire room, you already know what a blast radius feels like. Now the catch. One file came back with 0 affected, so it is not uniform. And my repo leans hard on shared imports, so that tight coupling is partly my fault, not the tool's. It did not lie. It measured my mess accurately, and the mess is big. Last question. Could I just reproduce their 82 times myself? Not really. Without their specific embedding step, the benchmark silently returns 0 times. Their own doc admits it. So the verdict, the build is real, fast, and free. The 82 times is real, on their 6 clean, famous repos, and the author is refreshingly honest about the limits. But the number that mattered on my repo was a fifth, not only what matters. On a clean repo, you get the miracle. On a coupled monorepo, you get a map of how tangled you already are. Steal this. After a build, run impact on one file, and watch how much of your repo one change really touches. So tell me, on your code base, does one small change stay small, or does it aggro the whole room?